It's the You Name It podcast. It is Thursday, everybody. It is 8/20. That'd be August 2020. A lot of 20s in that. My name's Jerry Taylor, and I'm here with Gavin Christensen, and this is the show that'll tell you everything that you had no idea that you needed to know.
Hola, Jerry.
That was a lot. There was a lot of stuff to say.
Yeah, you spit that out pretty good.
Yeah, it was sort of like a rap, except for nothing like a rap.
Yeah.
You know. So, this week on the You Name It podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to tell you some things that you need to know. And I haven't talked with Davin about some of this stuff, but the first one I wanted to get out of the way is I want to give everybody a stock tip. Don't you want to hear that?
Sure.
Stock tip. The best stock to buy right now is Goodyear. There's a reason for it, too.
Okay.
Today in the news, Goodyear, Trump is calling for a boycott of Goodyear. So I was going to look up the stock price, but all in all, the whole point of this thing is that they're at $9 right now. Okay. I think that 52-week high is $17.20. 52-week low is $4.09. He called for a boycott today. So what's going to happen is that it's going to go back down to $4 a share. And then in 1 month or 2 months, no one's going to give a shit about the topic at all and continue to buy Goodyear tires, and it'll go back up to $17, and you'll triple your money.
What's it at now?
That's what I'm telling you. Say what?
How much is it at now?
$9.46. It dropped like 1% today.
Okay.
But the more they start talking about it, the more that the value it'll devalue, at least for like a week or so. And then you know how the news cycle is. Yep. No one will give a shit in another week, and then they'll forget completely about Goodyear, and it'll go back up. So right now, get in, buy. Isn't there a guy on TV that gets all excited and talks about stocks?
Yeah, oh, yeah, there's a bunch of them. You're thinking of, who's the MSNBC guy? Kramer.
Yeah.
Kramer.
The one who screams at the TV and everything.
Yep.
Like, you need your TV screaming at you. Well, I guess we're doing it right now. You're probably in your car driving, and we're yelling at you.
Buy Goodyear.
Yeah, so what you need is to start thinking about stocks. Here's like a stock kind of noise. Yes, you need to buy, sell, buy. It's a bear market.
Nice.
Bear market. Yes, bull market, bear market. Do you remember those little things that you'd see on TV or old movies that were like a glass dome with the little ticker in there?
Yeah, yep. And
that's what they sounded like.
The tape coming out.
Now you don't need that. Now you have a computer. You don't really need to have this in your office. Because that's ridiculous.
Looking like Braille coming out.
I know, all day long you're going to hear that shit. You're going to read the stock tape. Dumb. All right, you want to pop one? You want to pop a topic? Pop a topic?
Pop a topic. Oh, fucking virtual learning posture. I heard him bitching about this the other day.
Hang on a second. As always, I have to be clear on what we're talking about. Virtual learning posture. Are you talking about the way people are sitting on video meetings?
Parents are worried that their kids' postures are going to be affected if they have to learn at home virtually rather than going to classes. Really?
I don't
That's
understand.
your biggest fucking concern?
The posture. Why? What's the difference between sitting at a desk and sitting at a desk? Huh?
What's the difference between 20 hours of sitting watching a screen playing video games versus sitting watching a screen and learning?
Yes. You are the guy today, Davin.
Yes, science.
You know. Exactly.
What the fuck?
But it's true.
You don't worry about the kids when they're playing games all day, you know?
Yeah.
As long as they're out of your hair. Stupid.
Yeah, and you know that their whole learning thing isn't going to be like all day. It's probably going to be a couple hours.
Right.
Tops. You probably have like a group thing for 2 hours, and then the teacher will talk to each person on little individual things or something.
And some of the communities that are doing the virtual learning for kids are like, your kids cannot be in their pajamas.
Yeah, so that's sort of like a work thing, too.
Now you're going to dictate their wardrobe when they're at home?
You can't wear your pajamas in your own house when You need to have learning clothes on, Davin.
I wonder if like Catholic schools are going to force the kids to dress in uniform while they're virtually learning.
I need to put on my smart outfit.
I feel like Mr. Rogers putting on his little sweater.
Yeah.
It's a
that guy was
beautiful
pretty
day in the
particular.
neighborhood.
Yeah. All right, kids, go put on your learning duds.
Sit up straight so your posture doesn't get ruined.
Mm-hmm. That's a strange one. Hadn't heard that. Is it my turn?
Yep, your turn.
Davin, let's be honest about the topic of weed. Would you like to hear my ideas about weed?
Sure.
Disclaimer, I don't actually like, really, anything to do with smoking or eating or any of that stuff of the weed. But I do encourage others because I don't care. I think everything should be legal. That it doesn't matter if you kill yourself off, if you take some sort of substance. It's all, you're an adult. Do adult things. Make a dumb decision. It's your deal. I don't care. But here's the thing about weed. This whole idea that it was illegal or a, air quotes, gateway drug is, or that there's a crime issue, because if you know a little bit of the history, they tried to push that deal, like people who smoke the weed will rob you, and they'll all go crazy, and they'll rape you and kill you, None of that shit was ever going on. Criminals are going to be criminals with or without the weed. It has nothing to do. Addicts will be addicts with or without the weed. It has nothing to do with, I smoked weed, now I want to do heroin tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
Weed doesn't cause addiction. It's like saying that drinking beer will turn you into a moonshiner. Yeah, if smoking weed was some sort of a gateway drug, wouldn't beer also be, or tobacco even?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's the difference? And those are all legal.
They can.
So, really, it's a business thing. This is my conspiracy. I wish we had a conspiracy soundbite. I wonder if we could find one.
Oh, I'm sure we could. But
the conspiracy is that it's all the pharmaceutical company that knows that people can smoke weed and it has positive effects health-wise. There'll be negative effects, like anything that you abuse, but there's positive effects. It makes people with cancer feel better. It does shit for your eyeballs, right?
Yep.
If you have glaucoma. I kept thinking we had an eyeball clip. Oh, we have...
Fuck you and your eyebrows.
It's the eyebrows. So I think it's the pharmaceutical people that went, oh, we got to stop this. This is too good. This shit's too good for everybody.
It might affect
we need
our
you to
sales.
use our shit.
Yep.
That's a little rant there about the legalization of marijuana. Davin, how do you feel about Mary Jane?
I'm fine with it.
You're fine with it.
I'm fine with it.
I'm not asking you to tell whether or not you're a weed smoker or anything like that. I just didn't know if you had any real big thoughts about. So some people will say, we had a conversation at work, by the way, people, with someone at work who had some pretty strong opinions on weed, saying that it ruined people's lives. Do you remember that? We won't say who it is, Davin, but...
No, I actually don't remember that conversation.
You don't remember? Like,
No,
I told my son...
stoned.
Shut up. I told my son that, you got to wait till you're 18 and then ruin your life, or whatever it was that he was talking about. But there are people who feel that just the simple act of partaking in weed will kind of ruin your life by making you probably too lazy to work or whatever. You think that's a thing?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't. I know a lot of super potheads that work hard.
It depends what strains you smoke, because there's different strains for different things. So, I mean, there are some indicas that can mellow you out so much that you just don't want to do shit.
Yeah, but you know that that's what you're doing.
Right.
I think what people are sort of getting at is that you become like a daily smoker, and then you have no motivation to increase your lot in life, as they say.
Yep.
To go get better work and stuff like that.
Well, you kind of have to, though, because as you become more of a daily smoker, it takes more to get you high. So
yeah.
You got to buy
Cost more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I can't even afford a drug habit. So, yeah. But I don't think really that works out. I used to live with people. I was the only one who didn't smoke pot in this house when I was like 23. A bunch of guys the same age as me. And all I noticed was that they all worked all day long. Then they would come home, smoke pot, eat pizza, and watch TV and fall asleep. And I didn't think that was really that bad for them to do.
I wonder if that's why so many people are gaining weight during this COVID, that there's really nothing to do. So they're smoking weed and ordering pizzas, dude.
Oh, is that the voice that you have to use when we're talking about marijuana?
The Spicoli voice. Whoa, Mr. Hand.
Smoking weed, man. Yeah. Dude.
Hey, I got a topic for you.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Are jellyfish allergic to peanut butter? How's that for a weed, right after a weed topic?
Sometimes I wonder if the listeners are on the same page as me, because I feel like you say things like that, and it's one of these times where it's like, I have to fucking figure out what he's even talking about
right.
to see if there's any validity in these questions. Let's see. I wonder if jellyfish are allergic to peanut butter. Mm-hmm. And initially, my thought is that you're putting together just peanut butter and jelly as something to say. And then I'm starting to wonder whether or not you're actually concerned about a peanut allergy for jellyfish. Tell us, Davin, what is this idea?
Actually, there's an article in CNET, this shows the nerd in me, that researchers have found that jellyfish actually love peanut butter. And
how did they find this out?
Well, they were trying to come up with a cheaper alternative to proteins that the jellyfish need to survive on.
Because we need to, like, propagate their species for them or something?
But they clean the oceans or something like that. They help get rid of some of the shit. Anyway.
The ocean's garbage man.
The scientific point, right? So anyway, they figured peanut butter had protein, so they tried it, and the jellyfish love it.
Well, that's good. So I hope they don't have a peanut allergy. Because then who's going to clean the ocean?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Again.
Science!
Yes, science!
You're competing with it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know what the answer to that's going to be, but we'll see how it plays out when we start feeding jellyfish more peanut butter.
Yep. Did you notice all the latest grim news lately? Like the new thing to be afraid of this week?
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Just for your listening pleasure, everybody, we've decided we're going to tell you more current things that are happening right now. Not that you couldn't go back and listen to the shows later on. It's not supposed to be like a current event show. But there are some interesting things we'd like to touch on. And I believe I know where you're going, Davin. You want to set it up?
Oh, I'm going with the firenado right off the bat.
Firenado!
Okay, so it's kind of convenient that they come up with firenados during Shark Week.
Yeah.
You know, because there was the whole Sharknado movie series and all that stuff that they rolled off of Shark Week.
Right.
So now we have to be afraid of firenados.
Firenados. So apparently these are the things that were happening in California, right?
Tucson, I believe. Tucson, Arizona were the firenados.
Let me see. Let me take a quick look. Because California's getting slammed. Yeah, California. Wildfires and a firenado plagued the West Coast. So it's actually a fire whirl. A fire whirl is commonly known as a fire devil, is a whirlwind introduced by a fire and often composed of flame or ash. And all I've got to say about that is...
It's so scary.
Firenados, yeah, and I'm sure that by now everybody's heard about that, but they probably don't know about the 11,000 lightning strikes that just happened that started fires. The lightning blitz, they're calling it.
I think Nostradamus had something to do with this. There's something, end of days or something going on.
Well, Not sure if he had anything to do with it as much as he would predict it.
And speaking of heat, the American record temperature was set this last week in Death Valley.
Yeah.
130 degrees in Death Valley.
Is that a record? Is that like a all-time United States high, or is it what they usually do where it's the for this date kind of thing?
No, I think it's the all-time high because the previous all-time high was 129 degrees.
Let's see. Death Valley. Record temperature. And it tells us, this mustn't be an old one. 3 days ago, Death Valley tops 130 degrees Fahrenheit, setting a possible global heat record. Yeah. So that's another thing for California. Firenados, lightning strikes, record high temperatures, which brings us to this again. So...
Just another reason California. To stay home.
And it's one of these weird things, too, because I sort of sometimes get jealous of people who live in California because it's generally such a nice climate to live in, you know? When I've been there many times for work, but I was the first time I remember going there as an adult, though, was strange because I sort of was thinking, where are all the bugs at? You know? I was in Los Angeles, Hollywood area, I think it was. And I didn't see the bugs that I see in Michigan that crawl around on the sidewalks even and stuff. And it was just the perfect temperature. It never got too hot, never got too cold when I was there. Same thing, like when you go, did you do that Anaheim show at work, Davin?
I have done it. Yes, I have.
People, we travel for work doing convention type stuff. So Davin's been to about just every single convention hall in the country.
Oh, they're all a nice 68 degrees, dude.
Yeah, inside the hall, yeah. But you get to see a lot of parts of the country. And I had when I was doing my tours, I used to have the West Coast a lot. So I'd do San Jose, Fresno, Anaheim, things like that. And the only time that was ever weird was during the Anaheim show. And they had those Santa Ana winds every year. It's that, like, there's a month where the wind just blows forever. So, and it still wasn't like it was cold or hot. It was just super windy. But I'm always jealous. Now I don't have to be jealous of them anymore because it's actually turning into hell in California.
Well, you were talking about the bugs. Did you hear that they're planning to release 750 million genetically modified mosquitoes in the Keys of Florida?
No. I'm glad that you're saying this. I just started thinking, wow, we've just turned into a news show.
I know, it's scary. But it's all the stupid news. So
yeah. Well, here, hang on a second. Let's do this for a second. I'll introduce you, okay?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to break for news. Coming to you live from Royal Oak, Michigan is Davin Christensen with a story about mosquitoes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe. 750. You won't believe it. No, so anyway, this is from a CNN article, but they are releasing, with the urgent crisis facing our nation and state of Florida, the COVID-19 pandemic, racial injustice, and climate change, they have... What are they doing? Jurassic Park experiment, said J. Lacey Hansen, whatever, policy director. They're going to release these damn things to try to... What are they trying to actually do with these fucking mosquitoes?
Maybe you should have read about it before the show.
Yeah, maybe.
So this is where Davin says this to me.
Fuck you!
And your
eyebrows.
So they're going to release that. So we got to worry about that now. And we got to figure out why they're releasing them, though.
It's funny. It came right up on my search. I just searched release, and it came up release genetically modified mosquitoes.
What are they trying to control with that shit?
Let me see what they're trying to control with that.
Seems like an episode of Dark Mirror. You know?
Is that what they call that? Black Mirror. Yeah.
Hey, you can't use that word. You offended me.
Black mirrors matter. Is that what you're gonna tell me?
There you go. So
it's a hope of preventing a string of diseases that the insects can carry. So that's strange that you would. What are they doing? Do they think that it's going to take their strain of mosquito will take over instead?
I guess so. And what'll happen? They don't know.
The genetically modified male mosquito named OX5034 was altered with a special gene so that its female offspring die in the larval stage, long before they can go in to bite and spread disease. Only the female mosquito bites for blood, while the males feed only on nectar and therefore are not a carrier for the disease. Oh, so they're trying to kill off
Mosquitoes
by having some mosquitoes do it to each other.
Nice, but what if those mosquitoes then become genetically modified and have antibodies against that shit?
Hey, those mosquitoes over there are fucking. It's the whole point. They're releasing these mosquitoes so that they procreate and kill off the offspring.
Fucking mosquitoes.
Yeah, people have been saying that for years, too. Fucking mosquitoes.
Yep.
Now they mean fucking mosquitoes.
Exactly.
So, that did turn out to be an interesting story, Davin.
Yeah, right.
I think so. Probably not as interesting as our story about the brand new street person that we saw yesterday.
Which one? The one that wanted breakfast?
Yeah, standing outside of a. Davin was we're at lunch. That's the first part that I thought was strange. We're at lunch. Davin was picking up his lunch, pad thai. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? And this guy walks by and goes, "Who wants to buy me lunch?"
Or breakfast.
Or, yeah, who wants to buy me breakfast? And I'm like, what? Because I did say, like,
ooh, me.
And he
Can
stops and he goes, "Who wants to buy me breakfast?" And I go, I don't have time for that. And I thought it was going to turn into a scene because the guy was pissed off somehow. How are you asking people to buy you breakfast in a pissed off tone of voice?
Yep. Oh, that sounds great. Come on in. You want an omelet?
It should be. And I don't get this part, too, because it's 11 o'clock. It should be brunch. You should be going, "Who wants to buy me brunch?"
He's on Comerica time.
Yeah, Comerica time. No, it's Chase time. No, is that a... See, I get confused. We have a clock that's downtown Detroit that has 3 different faces on it. They face different streets.
And they all have different
none
times.
None of them are correct. Like one of them is 10 minutes slow. They actually change throughout the day. If you look at one of them, it'll start off being like a half an hour or maybe an hour slow. And then by the end of the day, it's only 10 minutes slow somehow.
Yeah. Speaking of time, Jerry, I know it's not time to end the show, but if time travel were available, my friend.
We're available. Okay.
Would you go to the past or the future?
Me?
Yeah.
Do we have to set some ground rules before we can even think about this?
Okay.
So would I be going in either direction as me right now? Or would I be going and assuming my future self or past self? Like, for instance, would I be, if I said past, if I said 20 years ago, would I just appear in my own 20-year-ago body and not know what I know now? Or do I know what I know now? What's the story with that?
Wow. I didn't even think of some of those rules.
Rules.
I don't know. Maybe pick your favorite age, and that's where you'd start out at.
Yeah, I think I would want to be around 21.
Because you don't want to go to the future and find out that you're 113. Oh, this is the future. Oh, I can't even fucking breathe.
Well, to be honest with you, not that I'm not always honest, Mr. Stein.
Yeah.
I have to say that because the guy that we work with assumes that you always lie if you say to be honest.
That's
so
true.
I don't have any interest in going into the future. I don't really care about doing any of that. I care more about a do-over. You know?
Yeah, a do-over would be nice.
Here, let's turn on the time machine, see what happens. Oh, going back in time now. You're right. I'm still an asshole.
How old of an asshole would you be, and what year would it be?
I would want to go back to about 21. I don't really remember what year that was. It was 89.
Okay.
I think 89, 88 or 89. I'm not really good with math right now.
Yeah, I graduated in 86, so that sounds about right.
Yeah, so, and that's only because you don't want to go back in time and not be able to have a beer.
Right.
That's not the only reason.
Well, my stipulation would be is if I were to go back in time, I would want to know what I know now.
Yeah, that's the dream for me. It's the same thing. You can take what you know right now and go back and do a do-over with all your today knowledge.
And invest in Goodyear and Apple.
Yeah, the investments that you can make. I think it would be interesting because then you'd be able to control your career a little bit better, too. You don't have to change careers.
Right.
You could still do that, but then you'd know what was coming down the pipe and all the shit you'd know. Can you imagine an AV world for you going back and all that old technology, how good you'd be at it?
Yep.
You know, the highest level of technology that existed when you were 21 is shit that you laugh at right now.
Yep.
So, yeah, and I think the real deal would be to do investments. Get some job, save up all your money, and get right in on Amazon or something like that.
Right. Well, also, I mean, like you're talking technology change, invest in anything microchip. You know, anything microchip, the computers, who would have thought 20 years ago that people would not want cameras anymore? They would want a camera, a GPS, and a communication device all in one package.
Oh yeah, you could get on that cell phone craze, but it would be investing in Samsung and Apple still, all of that. You'd have to try and remember some of the stuff that kind of came and went because you'd be like, you know, if I feel like if I bought Oracle stock right now, that I could make a killing, and then you'd have to be kind of sure that that it was gonna go up. You'd see those names though listed, going, oh, I know that they were around for a while, and it's only 50 cents, so I better buy as much as I can.
Sink all your money into Best Buy and some other ones that weren't doing so well back then when they started. Like, who wants to go to an all appliance store?
You'd be the best at your job, but the only reason you'd be working is to get money to invest.
Yep. I'm going to invest
as long as you
in
didn't
these
fuck
kids
it up by forgetting about a crash or something, then you'd be all right.
Yep.
Crazy talk. Time travel. Yeah. What time is it now, by the way? Let me see.
We're 28 minutes in.
Oh, I thought it was longer for some reason.
No, well, we talked about news.
Well, I'm going to not do the whole news right now.
Okay.
But I am going to complain about social media like we always do.
Okay.
Because I see this whole new thing happening where it's an extension of this sort of the media is lying to us and against us kind of routine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the media is not actually holding back on any information or lying to you. All they're doing is they're trying to get you to click the thing. So every single story that they think is going to be able to do something that people would be interested in, they're going to cover. Because we keep seeing shit like this. You're never going to see this story reported anywhere on the news. You know?
Yep. Click here.
Yeah, click here. And I'm thinking, are you serious? Because the only reason anybody knows about that story is because fucking it was on the news at some point.
Yep.
You know?
Somebody reported it.
What do you think? The guy down at the end of the block was taking those pictures of the victim or whatever and nobody reported anything? No, it's so stupid. It was on the news. The whole point about the news, though, is to generate money. Remember that, people. There is no news that is concerned about you having the information. What exists now is click so we can make money. So I'm going to twist everything I can into an interesting angle so that you'll click, you know? Yeah, I think we went through that before, Davin. You're probably all like, shut the fuck up. We've done that before 10 times.
Opinions.
But I hate that whole, you're never going to see this on the news, as you post an article.
Yeah.
Dumb.
I hate those ones where they give you a little bit of the top 10 things, and then you got to click through 10 pages of bullshit.
Oh, it's horrible.
With the ads and
It's always a you'll never believe this too. Another thing, like you'll never believe what these boy band singers look like now, or something like that.
Yep.
Or these, you'll never believe what these stars of Little House on the Prairie look like now. And then you click, and it'll be advertisement picture, advertisement picture. And you have to click. I know what you're talking about. You have to click every time because they won't put them all on the one page. They want you to click.
Fuckers.
It's bullshit.
Hey,
That's what the news is going to turn into. That's what all of our news will turn into that eventually.
I went to the Eagles Club last weekend.
Really, how's Glenn Fry doing and Don Henley?
At the Eagles Club, yeah. No, they've got cheap beer at the Eagles Club. I've been a member for like 3 or 4 years, but there's different places you can go. Anyway,
you're a member. I can ask the question because I actually do not know the answer to this. What is the Eagles Club supposed to be for? Like VFW is Veterans of Foreign Wars. The Moose International is a family lodge. What is the Eagles supposed to be?
Fraternity of Eagles is all about community and donating and helping out charitable things that they do to help improve the community and that type of thing.
Is it dudes only or anything like that?
No, none of that. And anyone can join. You just have to have a sponsor
and some money.
Yeah, it's $35 a year. It's not that much. That's your dues.
Oh, I know. It's the same as the Moose. I'm a Moose member.
Yep, and some of them you can smoke in and that thing. But I went to the Eagles the other night and I ordered a shot of Jameson's.
Yeah.
First of all, the shot was like 3 doubles all in one glass. They, the rock glass, filled it to the freaking rim.
Yeah. They must have liked you there.
Asked me if I wanted it with ice. Okay, it's a shot.
They heard you said the word shot, but they heard like big time drink.
Yeah, I'm like, why would I put ice in a shot? I'm thinking I'm gonna get one little shot. No, it's 6 freaking shots. I left my car there and ended up getting a ride home because there was no way I was driving after that shot.
That is something that people don't realize about these social clubs, as they're probably called, is that they all have their own bar, and it's always cheaper than a regular bar. And if you look at it, the idea of going to one of those places is really no different at all than going to your corner bar, except for you're in a private club, and it's cheaper.
It's cheaper, yep. But they do have some things that they do. They do a lot of potlucks and shit like that. And yeah,
they do what?
They do have food.
I wonder if they could tell us what the Eagles Club is. They.
Oh, God. Google. That'd be an investment.
Yeah, that would be a good early one. The Fraternal Order of Eagles is an international fraternal organization. That means it was dudes only at some point.
Yeah.
That was founded on February 6, 1898 in Seattle, Washington by a group of 6 theater owners, including blah, 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 blah. It doesn't say what their point is.
That's exactly right. Who cares?
International nonprofit organization unites fraternally in the spirit of liberty, truth, justice, and equality. Oh, you're going to be a Superman.
Yes.
To make human... Oh, this is hilarious. To make human life more desirable by lessening its ills, promoting peace, prosperity, gladness, and hope.
There you go. See, I told you it was all about community. Let's
still
make the
like
world a better place.
Still sounds like a teaser for a Superman thing. The Fraternal Order of Supermans. Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, I think those organizations are great because there is a lot of charity shit that these people do, too. All of those. The Elks, the Eagles, the Moose. Every year, the elk and the eagles and the moose came down to the watering hole. What they really wanted was an alcohol.
Well, my favorite thing is when I'm traveling to stop at a different Eagles club. And
they may not be the most beautiful bars.
No, but
there's still people there.
Yeah, and And your first drink being not from their order, they have to buy you a free drink. That's
do they?
That's their rule, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Moose does that. I think they probably would. It might be a tradition for all of those fraternal organizations. But...
Although avoid the Eagles Club in Dallas, because we went to the Eagles Club one time and it was not the fraternal order of Eagles. It was just called the Eagles Club, and it was special.
Oh, okay. So it really wasn't your...
It was a gay club.
It wasn't your identity that you went in there.
No.
You didn't identify so much with the people that were there, probably.
I mean, they were super nice.
Yeah. People are nice.
And fashionable.
And fashionable. There you go. Start just spurting out a whole bunch of stereotypes.
Racism, man. I love to racism, bro.
It's not really racism, but it's the closest I have right now.
Nice.
Be sexism, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be sexism.
There you go.
Sexist. Okay, let me see. How much time? I think I can end this with, I have a Survivor topic that ends with a question to you, actually.
Okay. I don't watch Survivor, but go ahead.
Right, you don't have to watch. You know what the show is about, right?
Yes.
Where you got all these people that are supposed to be like castaways on an island. They have to fend for themselves. And they play reality games and whatever. So one of the things that I found out that I thought was kind of funny about that is that they don't give them, a whole bunch of food and all that stuff. And that also extends to like deodorant and shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
So they're stuck out there trying to do it. They don't even give them toothpaste. And I don't think they can have toothbrushes. They use sticks out there. Like they'll break sticks up and scrape their teeth. That's their toothbrushing. But this is a weird one. But they do give them condoms.
They don't want to get sued.
I don't know what they're thinking. I think they're encouraging, the hanky-panky. I think they're trying to figure that out. But it's strange that they would give they won't give them toothpaste, but they'll give them condoms.
Okay.
That's weird. But thinking about Survivor, they had this deal where somebody would be kicked off of voted out of the tribe, but then they'd have a second chance. They go into this little area, and then they have to play against somebody else to win their way back. And so every loser for 3 weeks, put it that way, every loser for 3 weeks would go into this little, like, side place. They're, go on this little island. Sometimes they do it. Then they'll bring them back, and those 3 people will have a competition, and the winner would come back into the game.
Okay.
So you kind of with me?
Yeah.
So this one here, the season I was watching, it had family members they came in. And they're like, okay, you thought you were going to play with your family member? Forget that. They're on an opposite team from you. But what they ended up doing was that if somebody got kicked off and had to go to this battle back, you could take your kid's place or your parent's place or something like that. So if you were safe in the game, you could volunteer to go in their place and risk losing and getting kicked off the show. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's boring, but it makes sense.
Would you do it? So let's say that you're on the show with your daughter, Lauren.
Yeah.
And she gets voted out of her little tribe thing.
Right.
And then she has a chance to battle back into the game, but you are still safely in the game. Would you switch places with her?
It could be an interesting twist depending on how it ends up. When someone's not liked and they can't get them voted off.
Well, they're trying to vote them off, but they can't get them voted off.
Right.
Yeah.
Because all the team, how they bind together as a team group and, decide who to vote off and all that.
Yeah, but let's say that you are you are liked and she is not.
Right.
So let's say that she wasn't liked, and that's part of the reason she was voted out. But you could switch places with her, and she's back in the game instantly with a chance to win $1 million. Would you just sacrifice yourself for her to get another chance?
No.
That's what I was looking for.
No.
I think people think that they should, and the real answer to all that, in my opinion, is who has the better chance of winning the game.
Right.
So if you've already been kicked out because nobody likes you, why ruin the other chance?
Exactly.
So, and I wouldn't want to teach my kids like that whole idea of, well, we'll just hand it to you kind of thing.
The helicopter parenting stuff. You don't have
I
to
don't
fight
want
for
my
this.
child to be
Daddy will
angry.
save you.
Yeah.
I know they all hate you, but go ahead and go back and just tough it out, and I'll try to get through this challenge and not get kicked off so I can still be your support. Oh, fuck that.
Yeah. Now, if it was the other way, like if I'm sitting in that game and I'm feeling like I'm not going to have a great chance at winning and think that the kid would have a better chance, then I would totally switch. Because to me, it's just about the odds of who's going to do better. But I was watching people just try and do it just because it's their family member.
Yeah.
And it was, husbands and wives and, mother-daughter deal. And I thought, that's just weird. Think about it. You're going for $1 million. What do you want everybody in the nation to think that you're a great person instead of actually going for the $1 million?
Oh, that poses another question that I heard this week.
Okay.
Would you, for $1 million, if they gave you $1 million, would you take it? The rule would be you would have to stop. Every traffic light would be red for you the rest of your life.
Oh, really that one?
Yeah.
No question I can wait at a red light when I don't have a job. So that wouldn't bother me in the least to get stopped by every red light if I never had to work again.
Over 70% of people agree with you, Jerry.
Oh, was that at $1 million though?
Yes.
I don't know about that one. 1 million isn't like stop working money anymore, because half of it's going to taxes right off the bat. I know, it's just hypothetical. You're going, shut up, Jerry. It means you get $1 million. It doesn't mean you got to pay taxes on it.
Analyzing it. Yeah, like someone's going to give you $1 million to stop at every red light for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
No, every
I would do that. If you
red.
posed it to me that way, I probably would do it. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Give me $1 million. Of course I'll stop at red lights on the way to work.
I mean, I
I'll
don't
just
drive that
time
off.
it different.
Just leave a little earlier so you're on time.
Yeah, exactly. I know who you're directing that at.
Yep.
I have a final question for you before we close this show. You ready?
Yeah.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Every morning in the mirror.
There are going to be so many people that don't know what that is. That's from the movie Airplane. But I just find it to be hilarious.
Yeah.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
There you go.
Hey, Timmy, do you like gladiator movies?
You like movies about gladiators? Well, everybody, this has been a wonderful time we've spent together talking about firenados, stocks, news,
Virtual learning posture and
time travel, $1 million,
jellyfish and peanut butter.
peanut butter allergies, and jellyfish. That's true. So, you can't say you didn't get anything out of this.
Yeah, you can.
Probably, yeah. That's wishful thinking on my part. Thank you, everyone, for spending some time with us. And if you can, talk it up and share it and rate it. Like if you can go on the the Apple Podcasts and stuff, just do a little rating, even if it's just the stars, even if it's a bad one.
Send us ideas for shit to talk about, too. We'll talk about it.
That's right. You name it podcast@gmail.com. You can do that. All right. We'll see you next week.
Pop a wheelie, guys.